Welcome to the Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you with us today. Look, if you've ever had to navigate a government bureaucracy, you know it can sometimes feel like trying to solve a giant puzzle in the dark, right? Well, today we're flipping the switch. We are taking a comprehensive, step-by-step look at exactly how to secure your South Carolina state identification card without the headache. Imagine having the freedom and convenience of a state ID card, but feeling totally overwhelmed by the process? You're definitely not alone in feeling that way. In this explainer, we will walk you through each step to make obtaining your South Carolina ID card an absolute breeze. We've basically gathered all the statutory rules, the forms, and some really cool inside tips directly from the South Carolina DMV, so you're going to know exactly what to expect before you ever even set foot inside a branch. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering eligibility and ID types, gathering your required documents, the actual DMV application process, card fees and payment, and finally, delivery and final tips. Quick and easy. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, eligibility and ID types. So, who can actually apply? The baseline statutory rules here are actually pretty straightforward. First off, you've got to physically reside in South Carolina, and you must be at least 5 years old. You also cannot hold a valid South Carolina driver's license or a beginner's permit at the same time. It's strictly a single credential system. Oh, and if you just moved to the state, you're legally on the clock. You have 45 days to surrender any out-of-state IDs or licenses. Also, here's a kind of fascinating little detail. Public school students in South Carolina are essentially required to have one of these. But private school students, they have a neat alternative. They can actually be verified through a specialized TSA database using just their school enrollment records instead. Now, once you know you're eligible, you hit a critical fork in the road. You have to choose between a standard identification card and a federally compliant Real ID. A standard ID literally says not for federal identification right on it, and it only requires one proof of your South Carolina address. It's perfectly fine for everyday state-level stuff, like voting, going to the hospital, or banking. But a Real ID, the one with that little gold star in the corner, requires two proofs of physical address. So why does that even matter? Well, starting February 1st, 2026, if you want to board a domestic commercial flight without a passport or a Real ID, you're going to be hit with a $45 TSA Confirm ID verification fee. Yikes, right? The Real ID lets you totally bypass that fee, plus it gets you easily into secure federal facilities and military bases. And this brilliantly illustrates the choice. Look, while a Real ID is heavily encouraged for air travel and federal access, it's absolutely optional. If you don't fly domestically or visit military bases, a standard ID might just be all you ever need for the rest of your life. It's totally up to your lifestyle. And honestly, the best part? Both cards cost the exact same amount. Moving right along to Section 2, gathering required documents. This is the crucial paperwork phase. So the document checklist you need to follow depends 100% on your citizenship status. U.S. citizens, you guys need to track down SCDMV Form MV93. But if you're a lawfully present non-U.S. citizen, you'll be looking at Form MV94. Make absolutely sure you've got the correct checklist in hand because the acceptable documents for these two groups are completely different. No matter which form you're using, your paperwork basically has to support four main pillars: identity, social security number, SC physical residency, and legal name change history. For identity, think original birth certificates or passports. For the SSN, you'll need your actual physical social security card or a W-2. For residency, remember it's one proof for a standard ID, two for a Real ID. P.O. boxes are never accepted, by the way. And here's a really interesting quirk. U.S. citizens cannot use cell phone bills as proof of residency, but non-U.S. citizens actually can. Go figure. Finally, if the name you use right now doesn't perfectly match your birth certificate or immigration docs, you've got to bring the marriage licenses or court orders that connect the dots. You can't leave any gaps. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how specific the requirements are for international residents using Form MV94. If any of your documents aren't in English, you can't just run them through Google Translate or translate them yourself. No way. You have to use an official SCDMV translation document, that's Form 4030, and it has to be completed by an American Translators Association certified translator. On top of that, citizens of certain countries, like South Korea and Taiwan, have an extra hurdle. They actually have to get a formal certification letter from their consulate general before they even set foot in the DMV. All right, Section 3, the DMV application process. Let's talk about the actual day you go in. If you're getting your original first-time ID card in South Carolina, you absolutely have to do it in person. They need to capture your biometric data and physically verify your documents, so mailing it in for the first time is just not an option. You'll start by filling out Form 44-NC, which is the application for an identification card. Then you'll go to the branch, hand over your documents, surrender any out-of-state or international IDs you might have, and eventually walk out with a temporary certificate. Okay, pause for a second, because here is an incredibly valuable insider tip that is literally going to save you so much time and headache. Form 447NC is a multi-use form, meaning people also use it for driver's licenses and learner's permits. But if you are applying purely for a state ID card, the administrative rules say you only need to answer question 1 and question 2 on the main questionnaire. That's it. You can completely skip all those other questions about driving records and license suspensions. Huge time saver. As for the DMV visit itself, you actually don't need to book an appointment just for an ID card. But if you want to be smart about your time, definitely avoid the peak hours. Do yourself a favor and stay away on Mondays, Fridays, lunch hours, and those crazy days right before or after a national holiday. Also, pay super close attention to this if you are a non-US citizen. You can't just waltz into any random DMV branch. The state actually limits international customer transactions to 30 specifically designated branches. These locations have specialized training to verify international credentials. So definitely check the SCDMV website to make sure you're heading to the right place, like Orleans Road down in Charleston or O'Neill Court up in Columbia. Moving on to Section 4, Card Fees and Payment. So, what is this going to cost you? So the crucial point here is that South Carolina has set up its fee schedule to basically remove any financial barriers for adult residents. Check this out. If you are 17 years old or older, your original ID card and all your routine renewals are completely free, $0. Now, if the applicant is a minor between 5 and 16 years old, it'll cost $15. And if you ever lose your card or accidentally run it through the wash and it gets damaged, a replacement is $10 for everyone. Well, unless you're 17 or older and within exactly 1 year of your expiration date. In that case, they'll just process it as a totally free renewal. Kind of a nice little loophole. But hey, be careful about hidden surcharges at the register. While they definitely accept cash, check, credit, or debit cards at the counter, swiping a card is going to trigger a merchant processing fee of $1 plus 1.7% of the transaction. If you want to dodge that, just bring cash or a check. Oh, and this is a very strict rule. Any credit or debit card you hand over must physically have your legal name printed right on it. The DMV will flat out reject a card registered to a business, a company, or even a third-party sponsor, even if you're an authorized user. So keep that in mind. And finally, Section 5, Delivery and Final Tips. Let's talk about wrapping up the process. So a super common question people ask is, am I going to get my actual plastic card today? The answer is no. South Carolina uses a centralized printing facility, so they don't hand out the hard plastic cards at the branch anymore. Instead, you'll walk out with a paper temporary identification certificate that's valid for 30 days. Oh, and if you're renewing, they'll actually take your old card, punch a big hole in it, and hand it back for you to use alongside that paper receipt. Your brand new physical card will show up in your mailbox within 7 to 15 business days. And this is pretty sweet. If you're impatient like me and wondering where it is, your temporary certificate actually has a QR code on it. You can just scan it with your phone to track exactly where your ID is in the production and mailing process. Before we wrap this up, I need to note that this explainer provides general information and is not a substitute for legal advice. For the most current and personalized guidance, please visit the South Carolina DMV website or consult with a professional. Let's bring it all together. Now that you have the ultimate roadmap, the specific forms, and all those insider tips, are you ready to conquer the SCDMV and secure your new identity card? I know the process might have seemed completely overwhelming at first, but with the right preparation, it's an absolute breeze. Jump into the comments below and let us know how your DMV experience goes. And as always, keep learning.